Coming up on Texas Parks and Wildlife.
And the critical stage is actually getting the fish out into the ponds and getting a successful spawn. It's a real balancing and timing act to get it just right.
Bienvenidos al Parque Estatal Lake Casa Blanca. Welcome to Lake Casa Blanca State Park.
The official state plant is perhaps as common, but certainly not as cuddly. The prickly pear cactus can grow practically anywhere.
This is really typical of life in a seagrass bed.
Texas Parks and Wildlife, a television series for all outdoors.
This series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchase of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $40 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year.
Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
In the cool running streams of the Texas Hill Country, where the water is clear and virtually undisturbed, there is a threat looming over one of the most important aquatic species that lives here. That species is the state fish of Texas, the Guadalupe bass.
Mike, are you doing any good?
You're good at tying on flies.
Dr. Guy Harrison and his friend, Mike Andrews, are fly fishing North Fork of the Guadalupe River. They're looking for one of the river's original species.
I got him. Fish on. He's a Guadalupe bass. He might be a hybrid, but he's Guadalupe. He's a nice fish. He's about 14, 15 inches. And I didn't know that I had him hardly until I really felt him, because he didn't make much of a splash. He just kind of sucked it under. Want some water through your gills here so you can go. He put up a nice fight. Put up a nice fight.
The Guadalupe bass is a good sports fish. It puts up a fine fight. It's a pretty fish. It doesn't get real big. It probably a little around 3 pounds would be the largest, but you get some nice size ones, and they're native to our state.
Biggest problem is that most of the Guadalupe bass that you catch are really hybrids. As you know, it's a state fish. So we really ought to do something about that.
A Texas native, the Guadalupe bass has been in danger of becoming extinct. That's because the popular smallmouth bass, that also inhabits the same streams, has been crossbreeding with the native Guadalupe.
Smallmouth bass were brought in to Texas by Texas Parks and Wildlife in the mid-'70s to provide an additional sport fish for anglers, having no idea that they might hybridize with our native hill country Guadalupe bass.
With support from the Upper Guadalupe River Authority and local fishing clubs, it's here at the heart of the Hills Fisheries Science Center that Dr. Gary Garrett and Science Center technicians are trying to save the Guadalupe bass.
The problems with the hybridization for Guadalupe bass were actually discovered back in the late 70s. Late 80s, I got involved in it, and we did a range-wide survey to just determine the extent of the problem, and we found, to our dismay, that it was quite extensive. We were fairly certain if we didn't do anything, we would lose the fish entirely. This species would go extinct.
Extinction was not an option to Dr. Garrett, so he helped devise a stocking program that would potentially bring back the Guadalupe.
We began work to raise thousands and thousands of pure Guadalupe bass, put them back into the system, and simply overwhelm the hybrids.
Let's go get them, Shane.
Fisheries technicians Shane Pavlicek and Cray Arns are fishing for Guadalupe bass at several spots along nearby Johnson Creek. They are collecting data on the fish, a census of sorts, to find out who's who among the bass community.
Every fall we send the guys out to collect Guadalupe bass. Point of that is twofold. One is to just analyze the population to see how we're doing and what percentage of hybrids are out there. But then we also keep some of the pure large adults and hold them as our brood fish.
That's what we're looking for. That'll make a brooder right there. Get him back to the hatchery and hopefully get a bunch of fingerlings from that one.
Catching the right fish can be a challenge.
I got me a little one. Oh, I have another green sunfish. Another stinking sunfish. Another green sunfish. These things are getting on my nerves.
But persistence usually pays off.
There we go. Good old Guadalupe bass. Right there at my thumb is a brown tooth patch, and that's one of the ways of identifying a Guadalupe bass.
After the fish are caught, they're brought back to the research center. There we note location they were caught in, how many from each location, and each fish is injected with an internal tag.
260.
So each of these fish are individually identified, and we take fin clips off of the fish for analysis. In the very early days, we actually had to look at the fish and measure things like numbers of scales and fin rays and pretty much make our best guesses whether it was pure or a hybrid. But today we use the latest technology, and that's DNA analysis, and we can tell not only if it's pure or not, we can tell if it was a back-crossed hybrid. We can tell a lot about its genetic history. The other nice thing about this technology is we don't have to kill the fish to find out what's going on with them. We can literally just cut a little bit of their fin, the fish are just fine.
Once the DNA testing is completed, the pure Guadalupe bass are separated from the hybrids back at the Science Center. They'll be held through the winter months until spring. That's when mating pairs will be matched and moved to the ponds for spawning. It's a coordinated effort with Mother Nature, designed to produce as many fish as possible.
Large.
One large.
Large.
Another large.
One small.
One small. And the critical stage is actually getting the fish out into the ponds and getting a successful spawn. We've got to time it just right. If we put the fish out too early and we get a late norther, we can lose everything. So it's a real balancing and timing act to get it just right.
Fisheries technician Bobby Winnicky grew up near the Science Center. He's been familiar with the state fish practically all his life.
Whenever I was a kid growing up, I used to fish the Johnson Creek, and we used to catch a certain little bass, and we always called it a river bass. But then I found out that they had the real name of a Guadalupe bass.
Part of Bobby's job is to manage the productivity of the ponds. But the Guadalupe thrive in fast water, and getting them to spawn in open ponds wasn't easy. Until the creation of the Guadalupe Bass Condo.
It seems like they want to hang around rock ledges, under rocks, and that's where we pick up most of our fish. We more or less decided to come up with a condo that you set in a pond that they would feel more secure. I think it's probably a 95% difference in just letting them go in a pond without any cover.
When the male has successfully attracted a female to the bass condo, she could lay up to 9,000 eggs, which will only take a few days to hatch. The male will remain at the nest to protect the young from would-be predators. After 3 months, the ponds are drained. The broodfish are saved for future restocking efforts, but the fingerlings will be moved to their new home in Johnson Creek.
We don't want to stock them at too small of a size because they'll just basically we'll be just putting fish food out in the river. We want them to be large enough to fend for themselves and have a fairly good chance of survival. Once we get to the creek, what we do is find good locations, good habitat, good hiding places, and the kind of places that Guadalupe bass are designed to hide in. They know, they recognize this is where I belong, and they'll move right into their habitat.
We're putting them in slowly so that they can adjust to this new environment. We're working with the state fish of Texas here. So that's, it's kind of a one-of-a-kind deal.
The plan for the program is to stock intensively for 5 years. What I want to do is put 250,000 fish in the Guadalupe River and its tributaries every year. And in doing that, I feel pretty confident we're going to push that hybridization percentage down to around 0. And if we do that, we probably can say we've saved the Guadalupe bass.
The efforts by Heart of the Hills Fisheries Science Center are making a difference. And if Dr. Garrett has a say in the matter, the Guadalupe bass will long endure as the official state fish of Texas.
Bienvenidos al Parque Estatal Lago Casa Blanca. Welcome to Lake Casa Blanca State Park.
The only international state park, Lake Casa Blanca is situated within the city limits of Laredo. Minutes from the bustling border and right next to a public golf course.
Lake Casa Blanca State Park offers people the opportunity to come and enjoy a piece of quietness and enjoy the sounds of nature and just relax. We get a lot of school groups that come for field trips.
We've been coming here for about 4 years now. Okay, let's go. Let's go. You finding anything? The kids, whether they understand or not, they just enjoy it. And they come back, saying, oh, we learned this and we have this. See those lines? That's how old that is. It gives them a lesson, so hopefully they will carry on after they leave us.
Lake Casa Blanca, it's a haven for the snowbirds of the winter Texas. They come out every year.
The park is also a haven for folks who love to fish.
We got the fishing pier, and then you have the whole shoreline where people can fish from. So the opportunity is there.
They tend to primarily be bedded inside these bulrushes.
Alfonso Benavides is a local who fishes the lake as often as he can. And getting a bite can be a challenge.
That's what's so rewarding about catching a fish here. It's just everybody knows that it's such a tough lake to fish. Oh, there's one. It's once you catch that fish, you know that it's well worth it. Oh, we got one here. All right.
So whether it's the fishing or the sights, it's worth a visit to Lake Casa Blanca International State Park.
This area is almost like stepping into through the looking glass into Wonderland.
He's right here, 10 feet. See him set tail.
And it's full of different kinds of birds and fish and seagrasses and black mangroves.
He was horrible to catch. He nearly ruined my hand.
It's one of the most unique ecosystems along the Texas Gulf Coast.
In the past 8 years, Texas has had an increase of over 150,000 anglers licensed to fish in salt water.
Go again.
And many of those people are fishing in shallow saltwater flats. But biologists see a troubling trend. Inexperienced boaters are endangering this entire ecosystem by destroying the seagrass that lies just below these shallow waters.
If we don't find creative management strategies, these seagrasses will disappear and the great fishing will disappear with it. That's the bottom line.
just a few inches below the surface of these saltwater flats, grow beds of seagrass. These grasses form the foundation of a food chain that sustains the entire bay, turning the sun's energy into food for all aquatic life.
This is really typical of life in a seagrass bed and demonstrates one of its primary functions and roles as a nursery area. If you look really closely through here, you'll see there's lots of juvenile and baby shrimp, lots of juvenile pinfish, and lots of juvenile croaker. They're a food source for a variety of organisms that live in the bay. We didn't pull very far, and you can see how many organisms that we collected just in this seine.
Anglers have traditionally made their way into the saltwater flats by using long poles. But during the mid-1980s, a new type of boat began popping up along the flats. It was, appropriately enough, called a flats boat, and it could maneuver in waters as shallow as 6 to 8 inches. Almost overnight, flats boats created an easy access to these prime fishing areas.
Run deep, fish shallow. That's the way the people fished here 50 years ago. They would run in the deep sloughs and get out and wade the shallow flats. And everybody respected the shallow flats until flats boats came in.
Today, many new anglers don't understand the importance of the seagrass beds, nor have they completely mastered their boats. Game Warden Albert Flores monitors the traffic on these waters.
Most wardens will receive calls all hours of the day or night. Someone's stuck in the flats, someone's run a boat aground.
The result is habitat destruction.
The damage becomes obvious, especially in aerial photography. If you get up in a plane, you see that these flats are crisscrossed with a tremendous amount of prop scarring.
Prop scars create troughs and ditches that crisscross seagrass beds. These scars occur when a boat propeller scrapes the bottom of a seagrass bed, uprooting the grass roots and surrounding sediments.
See, there's a prop scar where somebody didn't slow down before they got up to this shallow area or this flat area. So it's a great fishing area, but you just can't run an outboard motor across it when the water's this shallow.
It looks like there's grass growing in here again, but most of it's just dead seagrass or marine algae or other kinds of vegetation that have collected in here.
The amount of time required for a prop scar to heal is highly variable. In the best case, a scar in a sandy shoal grass flat may recover in a year. Scars in a soft bottom containing turtle grass may take from 2 to 7 years. Scars that channel current down them can erode deeper and wider and may never recover.
Now we've got a guy that wasn't raised on the water, but he's got money enough to buy a $30,000 flats boat, and nobody told him how to use it. They just told him it'll run in 6 inches of water, so he does. And that guy's got to be educated and needs to learn enough about fish and fish habits to where he doesn't just blast across every flat in the area and run it for everybody that's down here for the weekend.
This is how flats boats are potentially so destructive.
We saw our water line on this boat was right about here while we had the boat in the water. So from here to the bottom of the boat, that's 8 inches. Now, if you tilt your engine down so that you can take off, from the bottom of the boat to the bottom of the engine is about another 8 inches. For this boat to float without touching bottom would be over 16 inches. You know, the seagrass is probably about 6 inches, so you'd want to be about 30 inches off the bottom. So that whenever you take off and the back of the boat squats to take off, that would keep you above the seagrass and keep you from chopping up or cutting up the seagrass.
Oh yeah, nice redfish.
And with so many people fishing on the flats, every angler must be as courteous as they can.
Come here, buddy.
Use your motor to get to the flats, but not to get through the flats. When you're approaching shallow water, shut down your engine and lift your motor out of the water. Use the wind to drift across the flat, or pull through the water, or use your trolling motor. The idea is to push, pole, or troll until you find a depth of 30 inches. That way, you'll preserve the seagrass and allow the whole ecosystem to flourish.
We don't want to see this wonderful resource be physically degraded, and we also don't want to destroy the kind of experience that we're looking for out here on these flats, that being kind of a wilderness experience. It's an important thing, and I don't think we should let it go by just putting our heads in the sand.
On our new seagrass protection regulation that's going
to further protect seagrass, a regulation went into effect in May 2006, prohibiting the uprooting of seagrass by propeller in the Redfish Bay State Scientific Area. The area is completely open to access, and informational signs are posted at boat ramps all around the Redfish Bay area.
These signs have information about seagrasses, their importance in the environment, and how to boat safely in seagrasses.
Catching the big fish is every angler's dream.
Nice trout.
And that dream depends on every angler knowing their boat, understanding the bays, and having the skill to maneuver through the shallow seagrass flats.
Each of us has to educate ourselves to be better anglers, to better understand the importance of habitat. And I think through that we have the opportunity to preserve this resource, to conserve it, and make sure that it's here for all generations of Texans for many years to come.
When you think of the symbols of Texas, you might think of the Alamo, or perhaps cowboys, or maybe even your favorite sports team. But what about the symbols that tie us to our natural heritage? You probably know the official state flower, but do you know what the official state plant is? Each spring, motorists pause along the roadways for an annual tradition, a picture in the bluebonnets. The Texas bluebonnet is the official state flower, and thanks to a planting campaign by the Texas Department of Transportation, these flowers are almost everywhere. The official state plant is perhaps as common, but certainly not as cuddly. The prickly pear cactus can grow practically anywhere. These hardy succulents can even be used for cattle feed after the spines have been removed. This unusual creature has been embraced as the official small mammal of Texas. The nine-banded armadillo is a relative of the anteater. While many find this docile creature cute in a way only a Texan could love, they can damage gardens and landscapes as they root around in search of insects. If the armadillo is the official small mammal, any guess as to the official flying mammal of Texas? It's the Mexican free-tailed bat. Bats are now recognized for the work they do protecting crops from insect damage, and they've become popular subjects for wildlife watchers. Crowds now gather at popular bat emergence sites for an amazing sunset spectacle. The state insect can create quite a buzz as it passes through Texas. Unique in the insect world, a monarch butterfly's migration is a marvel. Adult monarchs migrating through Texas from Mexico in the spring reproduce and die before their offspring head back to Mexico in the fall. This new generation completes a long journey to a winter roosting site they have never seen. So you know our state flower, our state plant, 2 mammals, and an insect. But do you know our state bird? Here's a hint. If you guessed the mockingbird, you were right.
Bass are not going to leave that spot. They're just going to hang out there until they grow up. There's a whole bunch of them there, isn't there? Until the weekend when all the people start swimming. I don't have my polarizing filter on to cut through all that.
This series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchase of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $40 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year.
Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.